the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome in here, ladies and gentlemen, tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Back on Monday night, it is the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series into the playoffs. Round number 2 right here from the little Iowa under a mile track. They have it out in the middle of a bunch of cornfields. And tonight, to bring you all the action here for the Red Light Scrambler Series, it's going to be Muth up in the booth. And alongside me, it's my good friend Al Smith. Al, it is a small little track, but the corners actually widen out pretty much here at Iowa.
Yeah, I think tonight, Roger, we're going to be able to expect 2, 3, and possibly even 4 wide action here tonight to kick off the round of 8 for the Red Light Scrambler Series as we work into this round here, where we have 8 drivers trying to get into the final 4 in just 2 weeks' time. But tonight, yeah, track is very wide, and this track puts on a great show, and I'm really looking forward to the Red Light Scrambler 100 here tonight at the Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, so it'll be the second round. It is the round of 8, they call it. Here, you see it as just 8/10 of a mile here in Newton, Iowa. Tonight, it is a call it a chilly night here in Iowa for the time being. 68 degrees out here with the lights on. Al, what are the keys to the race here to advance into the championship round of just 4?
Keys to advance, if you are a chase driver, it is to win. It'll be step number 1. You win, and you're into the final 4. You are going to be racing for the 2020 Season 1 Championship. Number 2 on the list, capitalize on mistakes by others. Don't put yourself in harm's way, is what I mean by that. And you take and look at that over the past 2 races, Roger, we've had guys get eliminated by getting caught up in other accidents caused by others. You can stay out of those and capitalize on other people's misfortune. That'll kind of guarantee your way into the final round, the championship round at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. But yeah, so those are just the keys of advancing. And if you're not in there, well, you're here to win. You show up to race, you race everybody hard, but maybe those drivers in the chase, they have maybe a little bit more respect or a little bit more room when the others are racing around them. But we'll have to see that all here tonight at Iowa Speedway. But I think that's really just the keys for my point of view on where to go to win here at Iowa in advance into the next round. Looks like qualifying getting ready to take off here. We'll find out who's going to start on the provisional pole for the Red Light Scrambler 100.
So qualifying will be underway here in just a couple of seconds. A couple drivers getting ready to come out onto the speedway for the first time. Here's the driver of that 98. It is going to be Ryan O'Danny out of the Full Throttle Racing Stables. A beautiful Ford Mustang here tonight. He'll be the first one onto the raceway for our qualifying 2 laps, or, well, 5 minutes. I mean, for whatever one comes first for every one of these drivers. Looks like about 22 drivers have entered in here for qualifying as Ryan officially goes onto the clock, as he is the first driver now on the clock tonight.
Danny working off a turn number 2 and down the back stretch. And that number 98 car here, as they work here, will put our first time lap up onto the speedway after number 4. He gets a little bit loose there, has to catch it, and he's able to put a lap in here for lap number 1. He'll be on the provisional pole with a 25.011 as they take and work around the speedway. More drivers getting up to speed now. DJ Anderson in that 51 gonna jump up to the top spot. Brandon Minta will slide into 3rd.
James Heater off turn 2 with the Z line number 18 into the outside wall just a little bit. So he is trending into the green right now, but this lap will not count. Ryan O'Danny green all around on his qualifying lap, so he'll go a little bit quicker. He'll go to the 4th position now on the timing and scoring. We'll have to keep pace with a lot of these drivers as everybody is out here on track to put down their best qualifying effort right now. You see 7 drivers now to the top of the board. Driver of the 86, and that is James Skelton. He won back in round number 1 of the playoffs to move himself into the round of 8. And now last year's champion, the clock's by Christopher 22. Todd Gray to the top of the board, and just like that, you talk about top of the board, and another new one to the top of the board. Now it's going to be James Heater. Sean Butler back in action this week. He is sitting P number 2.
Right now, the 0-1 of Richard Murdoch. He's on the clock. He'll jump into the 9th spot with a 24.762 on lap number 1, working lap number 2. And we're seeing lap number 2 being on the quicker side here, so we'll see what happens as Kyle Souza and that car number 4 is going to sit in the 3rd spot. As now we watch the 0-1 of Murdoch come off of turn number 4. The checkered flag will be out. And does he go quicker? Murdoch's going to slide in. And it looks like he will go quicker, but stay in the 9th spot. Nathan Maurer out onto the racetrack now with his Chevy Camaro. He's working off turn number 4. This will be his first of 2 time laps as he comes across the stripe.
So right now it's Trevarthen, then Heater, Butler, Souza, Cray, your top 5. Maurer right here. He's going to go to the 9th quickest time on the timing and scoring out of the 13 drivers who have turned in qualifying laps here tonight at the Iowa Speedway. Max Terriel out there in his Ford Mustang. He is currently on his, well, this will be his first timed lap, I believe. Let's take a look here at the 42 of Terriel. Where will he go on his first lap? Well, maybe this is actually his get-up-to-go lap. Now he's on the clock officially here tonight.
Max Terriel's going to work down in the turn number 3. One of the 8 drivers that are running for the championship in this round of 8. If he comes off a turn number 4, he'll get the white flag. And Terriel going to go to number 8. So he's 8th quick with a 24.577. They're all chasing the number 31 of Michael Trevarthen, who ran a blistering lap, 24.43 seconds. He's your provisional pole right now as they work through turns 3 and 4 right down in that yellow line. And I think that's the quickest line in in qualifying right now as he comes off. Checkered flag is up, and Terriel will go quicker, and it'll put him to 5th quick with just 50 seconds left in qualifying.
The 948 of Michael Bromley is out there on track with the Draft Top Mission 22 machine. He is currently 14th on lap number 1. Where will he go on lap number 2? Well, it was a little bit quicker for Bromley, but he's going to get knocked down because Eric Johnson goes a little bit quicker on lap number 2 in that Dirty Mo Radio 33. So Johnson goes to the 13th spot. Bromley goes to the 14th spot. Kevin O'Brien is the next car out on track, but I don't think he will be able to get a lap here at Iowa.
Just getting up to speed, and I think you are correct with that. V-Power Shell Ford Mustang going to come off the corner. See the green flag, but he will not be able to complete his lap. So our 16th, so that puts Michael Trevarthen on the pole with James Heater to his outside, as that'll end qualifying here tonight at the Iowa Speedway. As now we get ready to go with tonight's Red Light Scrambler 100.
Yeah, let's take a quick gander down your qualifying results here. Oh, let's check them out here for Iowa. This is how they will line up tonight. The Metalhead Racing Motorsports driver, Michael Trevarthen, sets the quick time here. James Heater in the 18 will roll off in the 2nd spot. Starting right there in the 3rd spot, it's going to be 88 of Sean Butler. Kyle Souza is 4th. 5th going to be the 42 of Max Terriel. Todd Cray is going to slot the 22 in there, starting 6th. 7th going to go to James Skelton in the 86 machine. 8th here tonight going to be Ethan Troutman. 9th, DJ Anderson. And the 9th, well, tonight it's just the 71 of Nathan Maurer. I wanted to say the 971, but it is just the 71 of Maurer rounding out the top 10.
Starting on the inside of row number 6 is Richard Murdoch in car number 01. To his outside in the Full Throttle Racing entry, racing team number 20. This is Brandon Mintos in car number 20. Starting on the inside of row number 7 will be the number 33 of Eric Johnson. To his outside, Ryan O'Danny in car number 14. Michael Bromley will roll off in the 15th spot in that Draft Top 948. To his outside, Justin Gain in car number 30. Joshua Buckley will start 17th with Kevin O'Brien in 18th. Joe Strano Donald Bennett making up row number 10, and shotgun on the field will be car number 3 of Tony Strano. That's your 21 car field here tonight at the Iowa Speedway as we get ready to go with 100 laps of racing here. Roger, what do you expect out of these guys? This is the first race of 2. If you are one of the 8 drivers that are going for this championship, what is your mentality coming into the race here tonight? Are you aggressive, knowing that next week you can try to make it up, or you rather kind of be patient and just kind of take what the track gives you and what your competitors are giving you as well?
Well, right now, if I'm the guys that are on the bubble, like Johnson, Heater, Maurer, and Minto, I'm going to go for it all right here tonight at Iowa, because I think Iowa's going to play a little bit better of a race for myself, other than taking my chances at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway next week with the Cup cars, because that's going to be, well, we've seen those Cup cars. It's going to be pretty much like a super speedway, and with those 4 corners there, you have a chance to wind up in the wall. Here at Iowa, it's more of a driver's track, and if you can get the good line here tonight and get in a good rhythm, you're going to be in an A-OK shape with just 100 laps, looking like a possible 2-stop race here tonight. You're not going to be able to make it on just 1 tank of fuel. But then again, we could be wrong. We've seen a lot of drivers like Sean Butler in the Trust Me Vaca 88 machine. We've seen him play a lot of fuel strategy over the years. He might be able to do it once again here at Iowa. Not in the championship, but still racing for wins.
That is your 21 car field. I think it's going to come down, Roger. I think you're going to have to win to make it into the round. And I would not want to wait to Indianapolis. That track is a very tough, tricky track, just like the Iowa Speedway is, as our pace car getting ready to come on down, as we're going to go green flag racing for the first time here tonight.
iRacing pace car are going to make the left-hand turn onto pit road. We are going to go racing here, race fans. 100 laps scheduled here tonight. Green flag officially out on the air. Let's go racing as Michael Trevarthen is going to lead us down to turn number 1 with James Heater to his outside. It looks like it will be the 31 Fox Toyota here as Trevarthen scoots out to a little bit of a lead, as here comes the Trust Me Vaca 88 of Sean Butler down the back straightaway, but it doesn't look like he's going to get a good enough run, but here he goes back down to the bottom in turn 3.
Heater going to work the outside of the speedway. Trevarthen comes off a corner number 4 for the first time, putting lap number 1 into the books, and it'll be Trevarthen leading it. And everybody starts to single file themselves out here through turns 1 and 2. Heater in the number 2 spot. Here comes Max Theriault. He'll work underneath the 88 of Butler. That is the battle for the 3rd spot.
Yeah, so that 42, the black 42, winning last week at Richmond, trying to do it again here at a very similar D-shaped oval. This time, just a little bit under a 1-mile raceway. Could he go back-to-back? He is right now stuck into that 4th position, but Todd Cray is on the move. He is on the outside of that 86. Carolina Elite Grill Tree machine. That is the 86 of James Skelton. He is up 1 position. He is currently running there in the 6th position. Here comes Theriault, though, looking out of turn number 4 to the inside of the 88.
Theriault got a good run that time off the corner in that Ford Mustang as he works down in the turn number 1. Working down there, there's bumps down there. That helps kind of rotate the car a little bit. But if you hit those just wrong, it'll definitely kill your momentum. It's now the 88 of Butler going to be able to take that over, but now Theriault right back to the charge, the inside off of turn number 4. They'll be side by side, wheel to wheel. Here comes Souza in car number 4.
Yeah, Souza having a great run in the Gen X Trust Me Vaca number 4 here tonight at Iowa in the early stages. He's got that Ford Mustang GT tuned up and ready to go as he is on the outside of the 42. Almost a little arrow tight there for the 42 out of turn number 2. He had to jerk the wheel back down to the inside as Souza going to lose one here now to that 42. Now possibly James Skelton going to pounce onto that one, but it looks like the outside momentum will still roll out of turn 4 for the 4.
Yeah, Souza working that outside line. You see him kind of entering in about the 2.5 lane mark as they work off the corner. You see that momentum as the 42 of Theriault. A very nice drive off the corner that time. He'll pull even now, trying to take over sole possession of that 4 spot. Todd Cray working to the back bumper of Skelton as this battle rages on. I think early on you can make that bottom work, and as the tires wear out, you'll want to move up the racetrack. Did you see Trevarthen working at the 2.5 lane as Heater starting to put the pressure back on our race leader?
Yeah, they're still side by side though for that 4th and 5th position. Terriel back down to the bottom. Then it's going to be the number 4 there of Souza still to the outside. That's the highest up running battle on the timing and scoring for you here, race fans. It looks like pretty much everybody else has already decided to take it single file here, as we're not even a tenth of the way into this race. Working lap number 8 right now, and that outside lane is looking pretty racing, but now Souza going to lose a little bit that time out of turn number 2. He's still got the 86 right there of Skelton, and right behind him, Todd Cray, all patiently waiting to find out where they can make the move. Now it looks like the inside will prevail for the 42 of Terriel. He will take over that 4th position. It's just that Kyle Souza machine will not go away. It's still knocking on the outside lane.
Yeah, he's got that machine tuned up on the outside. Now they'll get single file off of turn number 2. And Souza, now we got a side-by-side battle for a second. Going for your race lead is the 88 of Sean Butler. Butler drove it in deep into turn number 3, comes off turn number 4. He's side-by-side with Peter, as that's the battle for second. Butler trying to make a move on Trevarthen. Now your race leader who's led it since the green flag has dropped. Now Butler's got that 88 tuned right to the bottom. He'll come off of turn number 2, side-by-side with Trevarthen.
Yeah, not going to be able to make the move that time, though, down the back straightaway, but this time he rolls it back into the inside lane of turns 3 and 4. He's going to scoot up just a little bit there, almost making contact with Trevarthen, but Trevarthen will still hang on to the race lead. He will continue to lead here tonight at the Iowa Speedway, but right back down to the bottom. The Trust Me Vodka 88, the Need for Speed driver, going to hang it out just a little bit that time out of turn number 2. He has a great run down the back straightaway. He'll lead him into turn 3.
So that's the battle for your race lead as they work off of turn number 2. Butler's going to take over that position now, putting Trevarthen. So Trevarthen going to lead the first 11 laps. Now lap 12 is going to match looks. It'll be the 88 of Butler as they work side by side back here. The 42 of Theriot not giving up on running that bottom as they work down the back stretch there. That's the battle for your third spot. Theriot really going to throw it in underneath Peter off of turn number 4.
Yeah, that 42 machine right now on rails. He is moving up through the field, but so far the biggest mover of the race. He runs all the way back here into the 12th position. That is the driver of the number 2. That is Josh Buckley up 5 positions, kind of running by himself. Behind him, Brandon Mitto and Michael Bromley doing the dance for the 13th and the 14th position. They are trying to figure out who is going to have it, because Ryan O'Danny is right behind them, along with Joe Strano. He is just sitting back there in that Green Forest Tree Supply, number 43, trying to figure out where he's going to go. He is up 3 positions already. Biggest loser so far, or biggest dropper, I guess you want to call it, here in the early stages of this race. It's going to be the driver of that 51, that is DJ Anderson. He has lost 8 positions here. It looks like he may have been into the outside wall in lap number 2, it looks like.
Yeah, Anderson not having the start that he wanted in that Mountain Dew Baja Blast 51 car, but he's working underneath the 43 of Strano. That is Joe Strano out there, one of 2 of the Strano brothers racing entries. As they work down here into turns 1 and 2, side-by-side battle there. O'Danny and Brown still side-by-side. That is the battle for the 13th or 14th position.
Yeah, right now that draft top machine is on the top side of that Brew Works. Now, maybe you take one of those draft tops to one of those Brew Works and crack it open here tonight at Iowa, because we have a barn burner here in the corn country of Iowa, as it looks like Ryan O'Danny will take that position away from Michael Bromley, so he will go back to the 14th spot. Bromley will drop back to where he started tonight, running in the 15th spot, but the night's not done yet, because here comes DJ Anderson in the Mountain Dew Baja Blast 51 Toyota entry. He will move to the inside here of Michael Bromley, and he'll make his way around. Here comes Justin Gann. He is also coming in the RB Sim Riggs machine. Right now he is running in the 17th spot as he takes away the position from Joe Strano. Up a little bit farther, it looks like, I just saw it, Richard Murdoch going to go to the inside here in the 33. That is Eric Johnson, so Murdoch will look to try and take over the 10th position and work himself into the top 10 here tonight for the first time.
And right in front of him is the 62 of Ethan Troutman, as he's got the back bumper look in the back there saying, you guys battle it out. I want to get away from you guys as far as possible. But Murdoch now going to take over that 10th position from the 33 of Eric Johnson. So now it'll be Murdoch trying to chase down Troutman as they work down to the turn number 3. Everybody kind of is single filing it out. And meanwhile, up front, it is still Sean Butler showing the way. But that number 42 of Max Darrell inching ever so closely as they enter turn number 1.
Yeah, last time by, the driver of that 42 of Terriel, he was a 10th quicker than your race leader. So he is the quickest car out there on track. Everybody else running about 25.2. He was the only one running a 25.1 second last time by. Let's check the speeds once again here at the race line, and it is going to be, once again, a 10th quicker for Max Terrill. He is there about a car length back from your race leader of Sean Butler.
So that is the battle there. Is now Trevarthen's kind of falling back to the number 18 of Heater. Heater trying to put the pressure on, but he's got the battle right now behind him with the 86 of Skelton and Todd Gray. They were looking to low there, but they'll tuck it back in line as they head into turn number 1.
Yeah, so everybody single filed out here tonight at Iowa. You got to go deep into the field to find anybody that's really trying to work their way through. And actually, everybody's just pretty much single filed out. Nobody going for the big move right here, or right now, but right here you see on screen it is James Skelton. He is going to the inside here of the Toyota family. That is James Heater to the outside, but it will not work for James Skelton, so he'll have to back off the throttle. He'll reassert himself into that 5th position because Todd Cray is just sitting there, still roaming around into that 6th position, but Trevarthen going to get a little tight that time out of turn 2. That's going to allow James Heater to kind of run down to the inside of turn number 3. Will he be able to take that Toyota and now assert himself into the 3rd spot, this time out of turn number 4? They will go heads up, drag racing up the line after line, and it's still going to be the 31 of Trevarthen.
Yeah, Trevarthen able to get that momentum on the outside, but now Heater right down in that yellow line, getting that car to rotate as they work through turns 1 and 2 and off the corner. Trevarthen a little bit tight that time now. Skelton, he's got to run to the outside of Heater, side by side with Cray now. 2 rows side by side, 4 cars underneath the blanket as they come off of turn number 4. Skelton's going to try to make it 3 wide. He'll think better of it as they come off of turn number 4. Trevarthen still showing the way over Heater now Heater has pressure from the 86 of Skelton. Skelton working to the outside of Heater, this time off of turn number 2, and he'll make that pass. So that is put number 86 Skelton in the 4th, but Heater right back at him underneath him.
Yeah, we go on board here with Nathan Maurer just running behind this group of 4 drivers. You see all the racing action here at Iowa. You see the 2 race leaders out in front. They are still nose to tail here. They have not been able to decide who wants to take the race lead. But it is only a matter of time, I think, till that 42 of Max Terrill will be able to take the 88 Trust Me Vodka machine and make the pass on him. They will work themselves out of turn number 4 here on lap 25. So 25% of this one in the books, Alan. It's been all green flag racing tonight here at Iowa.
Green flag that time as we saw Maurer get a good run off of turn number 4. Now he'll work to the back bumper of Heater. Heater kind of stuck on that inside line right now. Todd Gray works around the outside. So Heater going backwards right now, down 4 spots from the starting position. Remember, he was battling for your race lead early on, and now he sits back here in the 6th spot, one side of the top 5. And Nathan Maurer works around the outside off the corner. That'll put lap 26 onto the books. And then Maurer now moves into your 6th spot with Heater back to 7.
Yeah, Cray is trying to take over that 4th position from Michael Trevarthen, who started on the front row here tonight, the Fox Shocks. Number 31 started to work backwards here on this long run. Another one who's been sliding through the field on the long run, it's the number 4. Kyle Souza had a great qualifying start. He started in the 4th position. Now he is all the way back to 9th, trying to hang on to the top 10. He was side by side a lap ago with the 33 Dirty Mo radio of Eric Johnson, and then was able to work his way back around him, but has not been able to run away and hide from that 33 of Johnson as they go back into turn number 3. Still nose to tail for the 9th and 10th position. Just ahead of them, it looks like Maurer is on the move now as he is going to duck to the inside out of turn 4 into turn number 1. Now they go side by side, the 71 to the inside, the 31 to the outside.
Battle shaping up for your race lead also as the 42 of Darrell was just underneath the inside of the 88 of Butler, was not able to make the pass. So we'll go back here to the side-by-side battle. Maurer working on Trevarthen in that car number 71. That is the battle for your 5th spot. Now Heater with a run coming back at Trevarthen as they run side by side, and Richard Murdoch in that 01. He's working the outside lane as well as they come off of turn number 2. Maurer with about a half a car length advantage over Trevarthen into turn number 3. He'll take over the sole possession of that 5th spot. Here comes Heater along with him.
Yeah, but the question being, where the heck did the driver of the Adventure in Pixels 01 machine come from, because now he is looking to go up another position. That'll be to the 7th position if he can get around James Heater. Close quarters, racing down into turn number 1, almost making the contact, but it will be Murdoch still ripping the inside. Look at the flames down the side of the 01. That just shows you how fast that 01 Camaro is going here tonight.
Yeah, Murdoch has been one of the fastest cars on the racetrack the last several laps here as we work lap 31 into the books, and he is trying to chase down the 6 of Travart, and in 6th place as they work off of turn numbers 3 and 4, or 1 and 2 that is, and it'll be Murdoch down here in the turn 1.
Pass for your race lead. The 42 of Terriol gonna take the race lead that time down into turn number 3 away from Sean Butler. He just went right down to the inside, and you saw him able to work that 42 Mustang into a good position and right around the 88. And now he has opened up about a 2-car length gap down the back straightaway. So that is the new leader here on lap 33 as Max Terriol takes over the lead and tries to run away at Iowa. He is still the fastest car on the track. Let's take a look this time. Oh, it's about 3/10 of a lap faster that time. 2/10 of a faster lap than Sean Butler.
Yeah, so the fresh air on the front end of that 42 cars. They work down the back stretch into turn number 3. But right behind them it is James Skelton and Todd Cray. They've surgically moved their way through the field. Now Cray in that clocks by Christopher, number 22. He's trying to close in on the back side of the 86 of Murdoch, or of Skelton, as they come off a turn number 4 and into turn number 1. They'll single file it out, but Murdoch is now closing in on Nathan Maurer. That will be the battle for the 5th spot to come off of turn number 2.
Couple guys down pit road here, though. You see the 4, that is Kyle Souza. He came back out onto the raceway. He is right now sitting 1 lap down to your race leaders. He is currently running 19th, but with 4 fresh tires. Another driver just coming out of pit road. There you see it, the 31, that is Michael Trevarth, and as you see the 4 of Souza go right up by him. So green flag pit cycle is going to start a little earlier than what we anticipated here tonight, about 4 laps sooner than usual, as everybody wants 4 fresh tires. Todd Cray going to come down pit road also, so you can definitely tell everybody's got 4 tires on their mind here tonight.
Yeah, Todd Craig going to come down and hit his box, and he'll come to a stop. Crew already putting the Sunoco race fuel into it. The right side is going on here, so we get to a green flag cycle. Right side is down, cruise around to the left side. So Todd Craig, 4 tires and a full tank of fuel. No adjustments as he rolls off of pit road.
It looks like James Heater is also down, and I think possibly expect the 42 right here. It looked like he wanted to come down, but he actually stayed out there. Follow in tow goes the 88. Those two got to continue on their way here. None of them coming down pit road this time by, so it's Terriol, Butler, Skelton, Maurer now rounding out the 4th position. 5th and right on the heels there of Nathan Maurer is going to be caution flag actually out onto the speedway. It looks like the driver of the 948 draft top entry, Michael Bromley, has gone around here on lap 38 to bring out the first caution flag of the evening. So as this caution flag waves here at Iowa, couple of these guys maybe not liking the timing of that one, as they were in the midst of starting the green flag pit cycle. So now Souza and Cray and Trevarth all going to be trapped laps down here. Let's take the look back, though, at the Michael Bromley incident. What happened to Michael Bromley? You see him coming up on the 51 of DJ Anderson. He goes to the outside, and oh, that car just got absolutely loose, and just a little bit of a lazy spin out of turn 4, bringing out the first caution flag of the evening.
Yeah, remember, he had just come down pit road, I believe, and those tires not quite at the temperature, Roger, and I think that kind of led to the loose conditions off of the corner. But the good news is those drivers that just came down pit road, though they did get kind of bitten here tonight with that, it'll take and bring them back on the lead lap. They'll be able to stay out and get that wave around, but they're going to be starting at the tail end of the lead lap. But they'll be back on the lead lap. But unfortunately, with the yellow flag coming up, they're going to get trapped 1 lap down at the moment. As all of your race leaders that are coming down pit road is Max Terriol in his pit stop.
Yeah, Terriol hits his pit stop. Right side tires are going to go on that 42 Ford Mustang. Jack drops on the right-hand side. Now over to the left-hand side they go. It's going to be a 4-tire stop for the 42. It's going to be a 4-tire stop also for the man pitted just out in front of him. But it will be Max Terriol leading the way off of pit road. Then it's going to be followed by 3 cars side by side at the line there. It looks like it's going to be James Skelton, Sean Butler, Nathan Maurer coming out of pit road. under this yellow flag pit cycle. Todd Cray does cycle through to be the race leader for the time being because he was the lucky dog machine as he was on pit road when the caution flag flew, so he was only 1 lap down and now will reassert himself into the scoring loop here in a couple of seconds. But right now, Max Harrell going to cycle back through as the race leader.
Okay, so a tough break for Michael Bromley bringing out our first yellow. I believe he is down on pit, or he's not down on pit road. He's just right there in front of our race leader. So that was a very interesting segment there in the first half quarter of this race, Roger. We saw a lot of comers and goers. We saw Murdoch really making a charge late in that run, saved his equipment. I wonder, did any of the drivers learn anything during that first stint?
Well, yeah, that Adventure in Pixels machine is one of those drivers that usually will hang on to those tires for a long run. You saw him really starting to make some moves, but he wasn't the only one starting to make moves at the end of that run. You also saw the 71 of Nathan Maurer started to work his way to the front as they were actually nose to tail right when that caution flag came out, running in the 3rd and 4th position. I mean, see if they can do it here once again when we go back racing, because it'll just be, well, call it about 56 laps to go when we go back green flag racing. They will not be able to make it on the tank of fuel that they have on board these Xfinity cars right now, so we'll have to see who plays that next strategy. One driver going to come back down, and it looks like that is going to be the Turn 3 Racing Network Stars and Bars machine. That's going to be the 913 of Donald Bennett out of Topton, Pennsylvania. He'll bring his machine down pit road here. Looks like he is actually being scored. He is on the lead lap here, so he's just coming down for maybe some extra fuel. Looks like that right side of that car has been into the outside fence a time or two tonight.
Yeah, this might be the only yellow that we see here tonight. Is that first stint went around 39 laps long. So now the question is, we're going to have restart with about 53, 54 laps left to go. Do you split that in half? We see that the tires were meaning a little bit on the green flag stops once the temperature got back in them, as with Bromley or Bennett is down and away. Max Stereo is still our race leader here as they pace around the Iowa Speedway. But do you come down and split this segment in half, or do you go as long as you possibly can and to see if there's a yellow flag? Because if you go to come down now halfway, get caught down a lap, that could be the end of your race.
I think it's going to depend on who is the first one to come down pit road and where they're running. And I think after that, I think everybody's just going to wind up chasing them down pit road. You don't want to be the odd man out, as you see a couple guys getting that wave around there. You see Bromley going to go around the pace car along with, I believe that's Trevarthen and Heater. It looks like the 3 of Tony Strano having some connection issues in the early stages of this race, so he is back out on track, currently running 7 laps down to your race leader. He will 6 laps down now as he gets that wave around, see if he can work back into it. But I think, Al, if one comes down pit road, you got to chase him. You don't want to give up time on the fresh tires to your old ones.
No, an interesting look right here as the pace car lights are off. He'll be coming down pit road this time. Max Terrell going to use the outside lane on this restart. He'll have James Skelton in that number 86 car to his inside as they work off of turn number 4. The green flag in the hand of the flagman. As the green flag comes out, I'll get it out here. There we go. Jump on the loud pedal. He'll dive it down.
As they race down into turn number 1, the outside lane going to work for the driver of the 42. He has the race lead. That 86, though, going to follow in tow. But the race is for the 3rd position down the back straightaway, headed towards turn number 3. There goes the Trust Me Vodka 88. He's going to drive it in very far. That is Butler in the 88. Maurer in that 71, though, is not going to let him just run away because he rides the high side. He battles back out of turn number 4 as they head towards turn number 1. Butler once again going to be able to surge in a little bit farther on that inside lane. But here comes the 71 out of turn number 2 with a head of steam down the back straightaway.
Yeah, Maurer with getting a nice run on the outside. Kind of lets off early, lets the car rotate. Now Butler looks like he'll be able to slide up in front of that 71 of Power, who will still stay in line. There's a little contact off the right rear, that 88 of Butler, and that Trust Me Vodka scraping the label off of it out of turn number 4. He'll get it back in line. Maurer right to the back bumper, then work off of turn number 2.
So right now the top 2 drivers here tonight is going to be the 42 of Terrill and the 86 of Skelton. Both of them came in tonight running 1 and 2 in the championship hunt. As we close in on the halfway point, they are doing what they would have to do to move on to the next round. Maurer also running there in the 4th spot. He is in that playoff picture tonight. He is having himself a good run along with Richard Murdoch. And it looks like that is the Eric Johnson machine. Johnson still in the playoffs here. He came in running 5th. So a bunch of drivers here in the top 10 that are inside the top 8 of your championship hunt, as everybody has found a home right now running single file, trying to log some laps, except for the traffic jam back here for the 9th position, because that is Troutman looking to the inside here of the Brandon Minto number 20. The Barstool Sports Air Force entry tonight. The Full Throttle Racing driver hung to the outside as Troutman looks to surge ahead in turn 3.
Yeah, Troutman will dive it down in the turn number 3. He'll take over that 9th position, moving the Barstool Sports number 20 of Minto. He'll move back to the 10th spot. Here comes DJ Anderson. Remember, he was kind of quiet in the first part as we closed in on the halfway point of this off turn number 3. Troutman's going to work to the inside again. He'll tuck it back in line. It's now DJ Anderson. In car number 51, he's going to work on the 43 Estrado as Troutman slips up. That'll all side by side with Brandon Minto.
Yeah, look at Todd Cray. Oh, contact there for the 43 of Joe Strano. He went down there. He was almost into the grass, actually. And now he will lose a couple positions. There goes the 2 of Buckley. There goes Anderson. There goes Cray. And now here comes, that's the 31 of Trevarthen. A couple drivers that were at the front of the field until they made the green flag pit cycle. Now they find themselves buried back here, and Joe Strano is on the downward slide. He was up battling to stay inside the top 10, and now back to the 16th running position.
Todd Cray now is going to put his advanced charges on the 20 of Minto as they work off of turn number 2. He's got the number 2 of Buckley, who is high, wide, and handsome off of turn number 2. He'll keep it pointed in the right direction for that draft out number 2, the side-by-side battle. This is the battle for your 10th spot. Todd Cray working to the inside of Minto as they work down here in the turn number 1. It'll be the box by Christopher, number 22 of Cray. He'll work to the inside of Minto, not able to clear him off of turn number 2.
Yeah, but it'll be still side by side by the time they get into turn number 3. The clock's by Christopher 22 there. Going to take the 10th position by just a nose, but the car is going to get tight on exit and then snap just a tad loose and battle back to the outside. Goes to number 20 of Brandon Minto. So now these guys will roll back down into turn number 1, still doing the side-by-side dance, and Buckley maybe getting a little bit impatient. He is running back there, running in that 12th position. Remember, Buckley was eliminated out of the playoffs by just 1 point over Brandon Minto. So he is now trying to go out there and gather some wins up here late in this season.
He'll work right behind Minto as they're still side-by-side battle with Buckley trying to figure out which way he is going to go. So work on the back of Minto. Now going to clear Cray. Now it'll be the 2 of Buckley. He'll charge to the outside of Cray off of turn number 4. They come off of turn number 4. It'll be Cray sliding right back up in front of Buckley. And Buckley thought about making that crossover move and stays back in line. Everybody single files it out. Meanwhile, up front of it still the 42 of Max Dario. He's got about a 10 car length advantage over the 86 of Skelton, with Sean Butler in 3rd. And Nathan Maurer is starting to feel the heat from Richard Murdoch as they come off of turn 4.
Yeah, 2 cars with flames on them right now, running nose to tail. That's the 71 of Maurer, and Murdoch sitting there in 5th. So both of them right now currently inside the top 5. Both of them have jumped up 6 positions here in this race. Right behind them, it's the 33 Dirty Mo Radio of Eric Johnson. As now Murdoch going to peek to the inside in turn number 3. Can he get that Camaro to rotate on the bottom of the track? Looks like a great run through turn 3. Good run off turn 4, and now he'll take away that 4th position. Here comes Eric Johnson trying to follow in the footsteps.
Yeah, Eric Johnson, the Dirty Mo Radio, number 33. He'll go to the inside of the 71 of Maurer. That is the battle for the 5th position as they work down into turn number 3, side by side. Johnson up the racetrack just a smidge as they come off of turn number 4. Still side by side. Maurer at the line by a half a car length. Going to hold on to that 5th position. Meanwhile, they'll still run side by side. That group starting to move up the racetrack as Maurer working that second to the 2nd and a half lane as they work down the back stretch. Maurer going to hold off Eric Johnson as they'll go single file. Meanwhile, Todd Cray and the number 22 doing battle back here with Buckley with DJ Anderson. They're only coming off turn 4 side by side. Cray with a nice lock run down the front stretch.
Yeah, and a pass down in turn number 1 for position number 2. Sean Butler going to get around the team car. There, the 86 of James Skelton. Skelton thought about crossing over down the back straightaway, but he will run into that 3rd position and just kind of cool things down for the time being. Closing in on just 40 laps to go here tonight in the Iowa Cornfields at the Iowa Speedway. And right now, it is still all Max Terriot out front, with Butler now running 2nd, Skelton is 3rd. Murdoch is just sitting back here, a cool, well, call it about 2.5 seconds off your race lead. He is sitting in that 4th position. Maurer still runs 5th. That's your top 5 running here, with just 40 laps to go.
To work through the corner here, it'll be Maurer in your 5th position. How about our biggest mover of the race? Well, it's kind of a tie, a 3-way tie at the moment. Eric Johnson in that 6th spot. He's up 7 positions since the green flag is dropped here just 60 laps ago. Ryan O'Danny also up 7 spots. He runs in your 7th position in that Canterbury Brew Works number 98, and right behind him in the 9th position, Justin Gann, also up 7 spot with the RB Rig Custom Rigs number 30 Supra as they work down front stretch. So a lot of movers and goers right now in this race, up 7 positions as they work around the speedway.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if the 3 of Strano is out of racing fuel here tonight or if the motor has expired. Tony Strano coming down pit road right ahead of him, the 913. That is Donald Bennett. He is, I believe, making his final stop here of the night, but he will go a lap down to your race leader, Max Terriot. He just came down pit road. I'm looking at it. It was... trying to find it here. I believe that was about lap 49.
The race leader came down
39.
39 here. Roger is just getting the notes from our crew down on the pit road. Lap 39 was when all of our leaders really came down pit road. Todd Gray, who's in your 12th position right now, he came down lap 35, followed by James Peter at lap 36. And Michael Trevarthen is the car on the lead lap right now, back here in your 15th position. He's in a heck of a battle as we see Buckley way up by the outside. Arm Cabrera, there was almost 3 wide down the back stretch. So those drivers are going to have to come well before our other leaders who run around the speedways. Now it looks like Trevarthen's going to make that peel off the racetrack as the 31 is going to come down pit road, which could be his final stop of the evening.
So with him coming down pit road, will he drag anybody else down along with him? We will see, as that Fox Supra making the long journey down pit road. I am getting reports that the 931 of Donald Bennett actually had gone around in that machine, but we stayed green flag racing as he returns back to the racetrack running in the 20th position. But it is all Max Terriot still tearing up the racing field here tonight. He has led over half this race. Once that 42 got to the front, he has stayed to the front. Butler is still there in second, but look at the James Skelton machine. He has started to reel him back in. Last time by, it was the fastest man on track was still Max Terriot, but then it was James Skelton and then Richard Murdoch, who is now running right there in the 4th spot. He has started to pull in these runners running in the 2nd and 3rd spot.
Yeah, right now Murdoch is running the same lap times as James Skelton has the last 4 to 5 laps. They work around the speedway, but that 0-1 just came out of nowhere before that last yellow flag that we had, our only yellow flag of the evening, and he is all over the inside of the top 5 and looking for more as they come to turns 1 and 2.
He'll be down to the bottom as we ride on board. Nice and easy on the throttle for Murdoch. Not getting the car out of shape as he's going to go a little bit higher down here in turn 3. See if he can get a little more rotation out of that 01 machine. As this time by, it'll just taking a look. James Heater actually coming down pit road to the Z-Line 18. So you can officially say maybe the final pit stops here tonight are going to start.
Yeah, the final pit stops are possibly underway. We know that the number 31 of Trevarthen has come down pit road for his final stop. And will anybody else come this time by? It looks like Skelton's going to peel off, Murdoch peeling off. So your top 3 is going to be shaken up as now Sean Butler and James Skelton come down pit road. The teammates are headed down pit road for their final stop of the evening with just 31 laps to go, or 29 laps to go.
So the final time down pit road for these guys at a very slow 45 miles an hour as both of them come into their pit box. Now it looks like Terriel also going to come down pit road too. He doesn't want those two to have that much of an advantage, so he brings down the 42 down pit road, so that turns the race lead over for the first time here tonight to the driver of the one. The Adventure in Pixels driver, Richard Murdoch, takes over the race lead here on lap 71 tonight. Sitting in tow just a little bit farther back, and it's this battle. That is Johnson and Maurer. They are battling for the second position during this green flag pit cycle. Now it looks like Murdoch will bring down the 01 machine. He'll come to pit road and hand the lead over now to Johnson that time by at the line.
Johnson showing the way now as he is working the corners 1 and 2. I mean, he's got Maurer now all over the back bumper. That is the Battlefield race lead. But how much longer can these drivers stay out? Are they going to push the limit to try to keep everybody a lap down if we get that late race yellow? They're still racing for the race lead off of turn number 4. Maurer going to cut to the inside, trying to look for a way around the 33 of Johnson. They'll be side by side, wheel to wheel into turns 1 and 2. Not the corner. It'll be the number 33 of Johnson holding on to your race lead.
Yeah, the 71 a little sideways that time out of turn number 2. These guys know it's the middle of the green flag pit cycle, but they don't care. They are racing for the race lead here. And this time out of turn 4, it still will be Eric Johnson. A couple other drivers down pit road. It looks like Justin Gann and Ryan O'Danny came down pit road here, so they're getting their final service done of the night. Taking a peek to see who is left out there on track. It looks like currently your top 7 drivers have yet to pit. Here comes the 88 of Butler. He's going to try and unlap himself the old-fashioned way, as maybe the 33 coming down pit road, as he is, Butler almost into the 71 as he went to go around Nathan Maurer and get his lap back. Maurer now going to be the race leader with just 26 laps to go here in Iowa.
He'll work around the outside. Butler's going to unlap himself, and the key to note in the timing and scoring that Butler came in 1 lap earlier than Max Theriot and has put quite a bit of ground as he enters turn 3. Now, Theriot just enters turn 3 behind the 20 of Minto and the 51 Anderson cars, so they are battling through off a turn corner as Maurer comes on pit road, and the yellow flag comes out here for the second time this evening with just 25 laps to go.
Yeah, so the yellow flag gonna fly. I'm not seeing anybody that is actually sideways or turned around on the racetrack right now. So we'll have to wait and see what the iRacing officials tell us was the cause of that incident. Let's see if it is right here. Maybe it looks like possibly Donald Bennett having some issues with the 913 machine, maybe. Let's take a look here and find out. As no, it's not Bennett, so somebody else bringing out the yellow flag here in the late stages of this one.
Yeah, not quite sure who that was, but meanwhile, our race leaders are going to come down pit road. There was only 7 cars left on the lead lap at the point. Nathan Maurer was able to come down and get his stop in on lap 75, Roger, so he should take over the race lead as he was able to come in, get his service done as the yellow flag came out while he was in the middle of his stop.
So right now, Troutman, Anderson, Minto, Strano, and O'Brien all going to come down pit road along with Butler. Remember, Butler just unlapped himself right before that caution flag came out. So he'll come down pit road and he'll put another set of 4 tires on and try to march his way back through the field here tonight. But it will be the driver out of Pennsylvania, Nathan Maurer. He will be your race leader. Max Theriot also able to stay out here. He's going to stay out on a couple lap old tires. It looks like possibly 7 lap old tires here tonight. So maybe he knows something that we don't know with the old tires. Maybe track position is very key here.
Well, we do not need to mention that Theriot is probably one of the hottest drivers on the circuit right now, as it looks like he's going to be peeling off this time. So he's coming down pit road, Roger. But remember, coming into the season, this last one, I believe it was the 42 of Theriot that won last week at Richmond.
Yeah, you're correct. My notes show that too.
All right, I just make sure that I wrote down the right stuff here. You know, our stat guy, Jerry, he sometimes likes to play jokes on me.
I thought that was just me that he liked to play the jokes on, but it's good to hear that Jerry plays them on you too, you know, so I'm not the only one in that boat.
No, so right now Nathan Maurer is your race leader, so a lot of different strategies right now. How about this? A shout out to Brandon Minto, sitting in the 3rd spot with that Barstool Sports number 20. He is in the 3rd spot here tonight with his number 20. So good run for him. It kind of been a quiet night for him. We haven't really talked much about Brandon Minto. And now he finds himself inside the top 3.
Well, what do you say we just go ahead and dial up the 20 of Brandon Minto in the Minto Minute here at Iowa? Minto, how many?
Unfortunately, I'm only at 4 right now. I had to go pick a friend up from the airport literally at 6 o'clock, so I barely made it back in time for the race. So my first laps of running around the track were pretty much 10 minutes left in practice. But I've been trying to chug away.
Well, with just that little bit of practice time here in Iowa, the car looks pretty racy, and now you're going to restart here inside the top 5. What do you have left in the Barstool Sports number 20 tonight? Could you pull one out here from Troutman and Maurer and keep all the others behind you?
Oh, I sure hope so, because I know all the fast guys in here, they pit. They went for that pit strategy, but I know I'm not that fast out here today, so I was going for stick it out as long as I can, and now they're all on older tires at the back of the pack while we're on fresh tires up front, and I know it's hard to pass here, so hopefully I can keep it up here in the top 3, and I'm kind of feeling lucky today.
Well, I got a feeling, Al, that Minto might be playing the right strategy here in Iowa as we get the 1 to go. We're doubling back up. There you heard from Brandon Minto in the Minto's Minute here in Iowa. He runs currently in that 3rd position, but Nathan Maurer, he's going to choose the outside here on this restart.
Yeah, Maurer going to use the outside, and that Haas Automation number 62, that is Ethan Troutman. He's going to start on the inside, and we've seen the outside be king on these restarts. So this will be our 2nd restart, so I guess only 1 restart to kind of go over our data with that. But yeah, we see Maurer choosing the outside. It worked well for Theriot when he started on the outside, so the field rolls down in the turn number 3. As they get ready to go back green flag racing. It'll be 20 laps to go when the green flag comes out.
Looks like 18 drivers on this lead lap here when the green flag comes back out. Green flag going to come back out with just 20 laps to go. Nathan Maurer, Ethan Troutman side by side. Slow start here at Iowa. Now the green comes back out and everybody picks back up the throttle. And away Nathan Maurer goes. It is a great start, but will he be able to hold the 62 down to the inside? He is going to choose the middle lane. That is Maurer, and he's actually going to slip a little bit in the middle of the corner, but he'll exit turn number 2 with the race lead. Look at DJ Anderson trying to come back to that 51 Mountain Dew Baja Blast entry.
Yeah, DJ Anderson had a little bit of damage early on in the race. He was riding around outside the top 10. Now finds himself battling for your 2nd position. Butler going to take a look underneath the 20 of Minto's right there behind this battle. It's raging on behind Nathan Maurer. Side by side, 2 rows deep as they come off the corner. Butler and Minto traded paint as they run side by side in the turn number 3.
Yeah, this time by just 18 laps to go, and Maurer is hanging on to the race lead. It looks like Troutman's going to be able to hang on maybe, but he gets a little wiggle out of turn number 4. So Anderson going to rally back to the outside. Will he be able to now take that spot as he has the advantage down into turn number 1? Let's see what the advantage looks like off of turn number 2. It looks like the 51 of Anderson will take that spot away, but Troutman going to dive her back in there. Look at him using 3 different lanes for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position, as now that 88 of Sean Butler is back into the mix here. 17 laps to go, that time by at the line, and it's still Nathan Maurer out front by about, call it 4 car lengths.
But trust me, back in number 88, working the outside of Troutman as they come off of turn numbers 2. Down the backstretch, it'll put Butler into your 3rd spot. Now he'll cut to the bottom, trying to get a run on DJ Anderson. That's the battle for your 2nd spot shaping up. And how about this side-by-side battle back here for your 6th position? Max Theriot underneath the 43 of Joe Strano. Remember earlier on in the race, Strano in that 43 car made contact with the outside Arnco barrier off of turn number 4. He's rebounded nicely to find himself in the 7th position as they work down to turn numbers 3.
Yeah, just ahead of them, though, that 88 of Butler applying the pressure to the 51 of DJ Anderson. Butler wasn't here last week. He is not in the chase for the first time in about 7 seasons, I believe. If Jerry tells us right, it's either 7 or 10. He keeps chuckling. But right now, Butler trying to still gather up a couple wins as he is the most winningest driver in the red light racing history books. And what adding another one, to the record wouldn't be so bad here in Iowa.
No, and he's worked to the back bumper, DJ Anderson, and they look like they could possibly be closing in on our race leader as they go through turns 1 and 2, and about 3 car lengths separating the first through second as they come down the backstretch. Now, Stereo going to take a dive down low underneath Minto. That's the battle for fifth.
Yeah, they keep swapping that one back and forth. They don't know who wants to have it. Is it going to be the 20 of Minto or the 42 of Terriol? Right now, though, they're side by side back down into turn number 1. I do think that inside lane, though, for the driver of that 42 will prevail as Brandon Minto maybe is going to have a couple of those horsepower ponies up underneath that Ford Mustang down the back straightaway. But regardless, it looks like Terriol will end up taking that position. Here comes the 88 of Butler taking a peek to the inside. And he's going to scrape the outside wall that time out of turn 4. The car just drifted high. The Trust Me Vodka 88 going to get a stripe down the right-hand side.
They'll be side by side there for your number 3 spot. Now the little single file is now going to be Butler trying to figure out how to roll in. Does he go straight to the back bumper now? But that 51 of DJ Anderson as they come off the corner and they work down here on the front stretch. Looking back here at the number 88 of Butler. Kind of electrical issues that time. Butler kind of blinking out as he worked through the corner. Right to the back bumper off the turn number 2. Butler trying to find a way around DJ Anderson.
Yeah, it must be those darn kids on the Wi-Fi connection for Sean Butler. The cell tower's going crazy in Ohio as Butler is still trying to get around the 51 of DJ Anderson. But with 10 laps to go, Nathan Maurer looks in his rearview mirror. He notices that DJ Anderson is there, and he thinks right now DJ Anderson is probably his best friend holding off the Trust Me Vodka 88. Butler tried to get maybe a little bit better of a turn out of turn number 2, was not able to, as now he'll look to the inside of DJ Anderson. Anderson going to leave a little bit of a hole down there, and here comes the Trust Me Vodka this time by. It'll be 9 laps to go here in Iowa.
Smart move by the 51 of DJ Anderson, trying to make him use the inside line to get by. You can pin the driver down there, kind of not allow them even momentum up off of the corner. This time they'll come off the corner, door to door, wheel to wheel, down the backstretch. It'll be Anderson with the momentum on the outside, as now Butler will throw it down in the turn number 3.
Yeah, he drove that Trust Me Vodka machine way down to the inside, but a little bit sideways for the 88, hanging out that right rear tire, coming out of turn number 4. Look who's just trailing him. That's the 42 of Max Terriol. He was in the race lead when all those green flag pit cycles started, and then he kind of got trapped behind the 8 ball, and he has had to work his way back up. Butler sideways once again out of turn number 2. Maurer pulls ahead by another car length here, as this time by to be 7 laps to go, and here comes the storm from the north. Here comes Terriol to the inside of Sean Butler out of turn number 4.
Terriol has been a man on the mission since the green flag has dropped. It's just 7 more circuits. Oh, contact with the 88 of, there goes around the 42 of Terriol. No, hit the inside barrier as the 42 of Terriol and the 88 of Butler make contact, bringing out our 3rd yellow of the evening.
Wow, what a change of events we just had here at Iowa. It looked like this one was going to be going to the end with the green flag, but 2 drivers racing for the 3rd position going to make the contact and go around. Let's take a look back and look at this replay. Let's follow the 42 as he dives to the inside. That is Terriol in that 42 machine. You see him go down and, just the slightest contact to the back there of Butler. And then Terriol immediately locked it up because he did not want to run into the 88 of Butler. Let's watch it back here from a little bit of a different camera angle. Zoom in. There you see the contact. And then Terriol just locks it up. That's not what he wanted to see. Brandon Minto with nowhere to go. He got a front row action of that one. And so 3 drivers going to wind up with damage here in this one. Let's watch it back just one more time as everybody's going to come down pit road here. Well, let's continue to watch this and let's see if we can find the 20 of Brandon Minto and go on board from his point of view. There you saw the contact, and then you saw nowhere for Minto to go. He was hard onto the brakes, but that Barstool Sports number 20 was still involved in that one.
That's going to put a little bit of, I think, a horsepower damper. That's a pretty hard hit to the front bumper of Minto's automobiles. They're all coming down pit road, so we'll see what happens here.
Some two-tire stops here. It looks like DJ Anderson going to take 2 tires. Troutman going to take 2 tires. Minto, 2. 2 tires to go around. The first driver on 4 tires. It's going to come out. That was your race leader, Nathan Maurer, going to go all the way back to the 7th running position with 4 tires. I don't know if he has enough time. And oh, maybe Minto getting popped for speeding here on pit road.
I believe that also the 43 of Joe Strano also getting caught for speeding as he is slow on the back stretch. So a tough break here for those drivers as they're going to come across the line. It'll be 4 laps to go, Roger. This one's coming to a close. And after tonight, there's only 2 more events left on the schedule, and one of those will crown a champion in Atlanta.
Yeah, but first we had to head to the super speedway style race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway next week when we get the Cup cars back out. Before we even get the Indy though out, we got to get through the Iowa cornfield here, and it's going to be a barn burner. I think it's going to be a 1-lap shootout, I think. If not, we're going straight to overtime.
Yeah, we might be going straight to overtime. Right now is the 9-13 of Donald Bennett, who is only 1 lap down to your race leaders. He is going to get the wave around. He did not come down pit road this last time, so he'll be our 19th and final car on the lead lap. It looks like Sean Butler has gone 1 lap down as he was down on pit road, getting damage repaired to that number 88. So a tough break for Sean Butler in the 42 MX. So talk about championship implications, and we went over it at the beginning of the race. And to stay out of trouble and capitalize on others' mistakes, well, this is their chance right now. Max Dale has been fast the last several weeks, and now he is going to be restarting back here in the 13th position, and that car is wounded.
Yeah, a little tore up rear body damage when Brandon Minto slammed into the back of that 42 Ford Mustang. But it's built Ford tough with some Chevy stuff, and he'll continue on here tonight at Iowa and see if he can pick up a couple more positions. I don't think the damage is really going to hamper him too much because we are under a mile here with these Xfinity cars, and let's face it, I don't think the downforce is going to hurt him.
No, definitely not, especially with just a handful laps left to go here. Trying to get past a few of these cars. He was going for that 3rd position, and then that, unfortunately, our 3rd yellow came out after contact between himself and the 88 of Butler. And now the field is getting ready to double up behind the Ford Mustang pace car, as I believe the lights have just gone up. Donald Bennett's going to get the wave around, so he'll be our 19th and final car on the lead lap.
And this will be a green-white checker restart. So it'll be green, white, and checker here tonight at Iowa. I believe we have 2 chances at this green-white checker. So we'll see here. We'll take 1 attempt tonight.
What's the Vegas odds that we're going to need both?
I think it's probably a 50-50 shot.
These guys have put on one heck of a show. Hopefully you are enjoying it out there on the Turn 3 Racing Network as we get ready to go with a restart. Nathan Mowers is back there in the 7th. Well, he went further back, didn't he? Oh, 6th spot with fresh tires. But it is DJ Anderson and Ethan Troutman going to lead us to the green flag here for attempt number 1 on the green-white checkered as they come off the pit road. Green flag in the hand of our flag man, Joey Chitwood, as they give the green flag. We're underway here once again in the red light scramble.
Yeah, they race down into turn number 1, the inside lane. Oh, big wiggle for DJ Anderson. Up the track goes DJ Anderson. He's going to lose 2nd. He's going to lose 3rd. He is already out of the top 5. One of them down towards the apron. That's the Kevin O'Brien machine. But now, here comes Nathan Maurer. He's got 4 tires, and he is into the 4th position. They're going to get the white flag this time by can Ethan Troutman come back around to win another one here with the Red Light Scrambler Series. It is time for him to lock in and maybe get himself the win as they storm down the back straightaway almost 3 wide as Maurer is still trying to bring that Camaro with his 4 fresh tires maybe onto a podium. To the inside he goes here on Eric Johnson. It is going to be out of turn number 4. Troutman winning here tonight. Maurer going to go for a spin down the front straightaway. He is going to knock himself down to the 6th position, but it is Troutman coming across P number 1. James Skelton in 2nd. Eric Johnson finishing on the podium here in 3rd. Then it's going to be Todd Cray and Richard Murdoch rounding out your top 5 here tonight at Iowa.
What an amazing finish there. Troutman going to pick up the win and was eliminated in round number 1, Roger. So kind of bittersweet for the driver of that Haas Automation number 62, as he's going to burn it down here in the front stretch as we get ready to go with our post-race show here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. What an amazing finish here at the Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, it needed just a little bit of overtime to figure out who was going to be the winner, but there you see it, the 62 Haas CNC machine. That Ford Mustang had enough ponies to bring it across the line, P number 1 here tonight. So we're going to take a quick break here on the Turn 3 Racing Network as we get ready to bring you your post-race show here at Iowa. Don't go anywhere. Hear what these drivers had to say as they battled side by side for this win at Iowa. Welcome back here to the cornfields in Iowa as we have officially wrapped up the first race of round number 2. We have a winner, and he is standing right here in victory lane, or actually he's still out there circling the racetrack, race fans, doing a little bit of celebrating for all of yous. And tonight, that is going to be Ethan Troutman. Ethan didn't have the strongest car all night. You just were in the right place at the right time. I think it's better to be lucky than good here in Iowa.
Yep, that's what it was. Just kind of staying out there, waiting for the caution to fall. It kind of fell in my favor. Didn't have the best car, like you said. Definitely didn't have a good car in the long run. It started falling off there pretty quick, but it worked out in the end.
Yeah, tell us about the tires here tonight. It seemed like a couple of guys at the end of this race took those 2 tire stops. Was it a little slick out there on 2 tires, or was that exactly what this Ford needed?
I think it's what it needed for that two-lap run. On 4 fresh tires, it's definitely slick, and as the run goes on, it gets tight. That's where I struggled with the tight car, but the 2 tires, it felt perfect for 2 laps at least.
Now, you're not racing for a championship here in the Scrambler Series, which is a little disappointment. You know how I like to maybe throw a couple jabs at you during the week about the Roval a couple years back, but we can't talk about that anymore, because now this is the second time you have parked this 62 in victory lane since then, so it's got to feel pretty good. Not racing for a championship, but still being able to come out here and grab some victories.
Yeah, it's awesome to win here, no matter if it's for a championship, just for a win. But I missed a few races, kind of put me out of the playoff hunt there. But hey, a win's a win. I'll take it.
A win's a win. But what do you think? We're going to go from this little short track here in Iowa in the middle of nowhere in the cornfields. We're going to head to the big city. We're going to go racing with the big boys. It's the Cup cars at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. How do you feel about that one?
You know, I'm not sure. I haven't tested it out yet, but I'm excited to get to Indy. It's a track I haven't raced on yet with the red light group here. No matter where you go, though, it's always a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations here tonight, Ethan. Before we let you go, the red carpet rolls out for you, and the microphone becomes your own. Who do you got to thank for parking this Haas CNC machine here in Victory Lane in Iowa?
Yep, first shout out to Mom, recovering from open heart surgery a few weeks ago. And my buddy Mike always watches every week. I did it, Mike. Got another win. Didn't get the playoffs, but hey, I'm here.
Hey, a win is a win, and our thoughts and prayers go out to Mrs. Troutman for a speedy recovery on open heart surgery. So tonight, her son parks it in Victory Lane. I believe that is probably a little bit better and a little more important, though, that her recovery is coming, and maybe this will give her a little bit of a go-get-it attitude as he's going to continue to burn them down here tonight in Iowa. Al, I believe you caught up with our second-place finisher, though, James Skelton.
I did. I caught up with the driver out of North Carolina, the James Skelton, number 86. And James, you had a great race coming home in the number 2 position. How tricky was the track conditions out there tonight for you guys?
I mean, it was a little slick in the first few laps, and then it got pretty neutral. I just thought I had a little bit better long run speed, and I struggled. I thought when I got behind Max and I restarted, I thought I might have something for him, and thought I was taking it easy, and then he went around, or he just checked out, and then Sean passed me. So I'm just glad I was able to get the wave around and get a second place finish, because with only one other playoff race, I thought I was going to be in a lot of trouble going to Indy.
So tonight you are the highest finishing driver that's left in the round of 8. So you got off to a good foot here at the Iowa Speedway, finishing second. Look, talk about Indy. Well, next week we are in the Cup car for the final time this season. What's your expectations headed to Indy? It's a very fast but technical and tough track.
Yeah, I think it's one of the more technical tracks. So flat, it's just kind of, I think it's hard to get your spots of where you want to break in the 1 and 3. And then it's just a momentum track. So I'm gonna put tons of practice in just to make sure that I can hit my marks and have some good long run speed. And then just, I mean, since I was the best finisher in the chase, guys, just really race them. Just make sure I put myself ahead of the majority of them so I can just make it to the Final Four.
Well, we'll roll out the red carpet, like Roger likes to say, and who you got to thank that makes it all possible for you week in and week out here at the Red Light Scrambler Series?
Yeah, always my teammates. I missed the practice race yesterday, so I was coming in this race pretty blind. But we always do a lot of work together throughout the week and throughout the races. You guys for putting on the broadcast. I think this one's gonna be a fun one to watch tonight, and hopefully the people watching enjoyed it. My wife allowed me to do this, and then any of my friends, my clients. I don't know if Bryce is watching tonight, and I want to give a shout out to Ethan for winning, and shout out to his mom, and hope she has a speedy recovery.
Definitely. Hopefully a speedy recovery for her, and congratulations on your second place finish. We'll see you next week at Indy.
And for thanks, guys.
Roger, I believe you've caught up with our third place finisher, Eric Johnson.
Yeah, Eric sitting down here on the pit wall. Eric, another strong run here in the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series. It was a third last week at Richmond, and it's another third here tonight. That's going to keep you in the playoff championship hunt going into next week. But tell us about tonight. This 33 seemed like it was maybe like a 5th, 6th place car, and at the end, you wound up being third, holding off Nathan Maurer.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty strong car, and then I realized I was burning my right front after that first pit stop, so I had to change the way I drove. But yeah, I almost threw it away there on that restart, and I think turn 3 and 4, I almost looped it.
Yeah, you almost looped it, but Maurer did it for you, and you were able to come across the line third. But I mean, racing with these guys, especially towards the end of the season, with the guys that are left like Skelton, Terriel, Anderson, Trevarthen, Heater, and Maurer, Minto also still left in the hunt here. Those are some very strong competitors out here, and tonight you're coming home second out of those 8 drivers, the 7 other drivers. So you're in a good spot headed into Indy.
Yeah, those guys are real tough, and it's so hard to get a win here against these guys. They're so good, and just try to keep my car clean, and I just got to win one of these things.
Yeah, it seems like you're always knocking on the door, chipping away at it. You know, a third here tonight. What's it going to take next week at Indianapolis, though, to park this Dirty Mo Radio 33 in the victory lane at Indianapolis?
Just no mistakes. I got to save my tires and just pray.
Well, praying is something that you can do, and pray that you might be able to win at Indy and move on to the Atlanta Motor Speedway and race for a championship. But hey, that's coming up next week. Right now, though, we're sitting here on the podium. Who do you got to thank for a third-place finish tonight at Iowa?
I'm not part of a team. Just thank, I don't know, how the cautions fell. Got lucky. And that's it. Every race clean.
Well, Al, right there, you heard it from the driver of the 33. An independent driver, no teammates, nobody to lean on, no strategies, from the pit box. It is all the driver of the 33. You love to hear stories like that where nobody's behind him. It's just him and himself out here doing his thing.
Yeah, definitely. And what a great night of racing is everybody's alluded to. Next week, we head to Indianapolis Speedway, Roger, for that tricky, I'll call it a rectangle, because they got 4 corners, very flat, all different characteristics, and a very different style of racer we're going to see next week. Is the last time that we see the Cup, and it's the cutoff round for the round of 8.
Yeah, that'll just take us down to 4 drivers. That is next week at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I can't wait, Al. With only 2 races, the intensity is going to pick up, and especially at a track like that, long straightaways down the front straightaway and the back straightaway, it's going to be enough room to go 3, even possibly 4 wide with those Cup cars, because it's going to race like a super speedway. The problem being, when we get to turn 1, and we get to turn number 3. Those corners are tight because they will be running upward speeds of about 190 miles an hour by the time they get down there, and they're going to have to drop it down probably a good 30 to 35 miles an hour to make those corners. If they don't, the car is going to push, and it's going to be a long night from there if you have an aero push when you get into the outside wall with that right front.
And you got to remember that with those corners, the way they funnel down, you got to get in the single file. Indianapolis not known for a lot of side-by-side action getting into the corner, but down those long straightaways, they can fan out 2, 3, possibly even 4 wide next week, as I can't wait to get to Indianapolis, see who it all plays out, and who's going to be racing for the championship this season.
Well, that's about going to do things here from the Iowa Speedway. Troutman going to park the 62 back in victory lane for the 3rd time of his career here with the Red Light Racing Scrambler Series. Skelton going to finish 2nd. You heard from Johnson. He finished 3rd. Finishing 4th was Todd Cray. Rounding out the top 5 here tonight was Richard Murdoch. 6th was DJ Anderson in the 51. It was a very rough night for Anderson. He was at the front. He was at the back and worked his way back into a 6th place finish. How about the Spinny McSpinner? That is the Mauer machine. He came across the line through the grass, cutting a little bit of it here in Iowa. He finishes in 7th, sideways through the grass. Ryan O'Danny comes back to finish 8th. Buckley finishes inside the top 10. He comes home 9th. And how about our pole sitter? He rounds out the top 10. But Al, a good race here at Iowa. I can't wait to do it again next week.
Yeah, next week, same time. Tune us in at the Turn 3 Racing Network at 8 o'clock Eastern. We'll bring you all the action for the 2nd race, the final race of the round of 8, where we're going to take 4 drivers and send them to Atlanta for the championship race in 2 weeks' time. But until next week, guys, we hope you have a safe and fun time out there. And thank you for watching. Remember to hit the like button, smash it, and subscribe to our channel if you like what we do for you guys here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. For Roger Muth, I'm Al Smith. You guys have a great evening.